Hout Bay is a suburb of Cape Town, South Africa, situated in a valley on the Atlantic seaboard of the Cape Peninsula, 20 kilometers south of the central business district of Cape Town. The name Hout Bay can refer to the town, the bay on which it is situated, or the entire valley. So it's very, very picturesque, about a population of 17,900. It's in a valley that's about 15k south of Cape Town. So one of the most striking things is also the number of trees that you'll find in that area. But let's go over to Sakina. That's where she is this morning, and I'm sure that this is going to be another one of those really electric broadcasts from the Western Cape. Good morning, Sakina.
Well, good morning, Leanne, and you are absolutely correct. Thank you so much for joining us here in Hamburg, and it is, of course, in Hout Bay, as you explained, about 20 kilometers south of the Cape Town Central Business District. And of course, we're here for the second part of our election coverage in the Western Cape. We started out in Hermanus on Wednesday, and today we are here in the mother city. And the issues, of course, they are provincial, but they are as much national. And we're going to try and get into as many of those issues as we can once again. Let me also just explain that today's broadcast will happen in two parts. So we're going to start off with parties that are represented on the council here in the city of Cape Town. And later on, we'll have a separate panel, and that panel consisting of some other parties not currently represented in council. We have about 10 or 11 of those parties. And this, of course, in an effort to try and give everybody a voice going into the May 8th poll. And I must also just indicate that the panelists you see here, we're going to give each one a minute. That's right, just a minute to open, and then we get straight into the issues. So we'll speak to some of the other parties later on, but for now, these are the parties represented on council, except COPE, who have also been invited. They are not here at the moment. We'll try and accommodate them as and when they join the discussion. But for now, we're going to get into the situation here in Cape Town, in Hamburg, in Hout Bay, and it, of course, is bedeviled by a lot of socioeconomic issues. Earlier in the week, we were reporting about 4 people having been gunned down here in this particular area. Taxi violence, and I saw Atta is here, and hopefully we'll speak to them as well to weigh in on that matter. But for now, let's kick it off with the representatives here on the panel. Faiz Jacobs of the ANC, good morning. You have 1 minute to state your case to the electorate.
Good morning, Balweni Nonke. Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, my name is Faiz. We on the Western Cape, we want change. We're looking for alternatives. We are tired of no houses. We are tired of no jobs. We want to ensure that our people deserve a better life, and the ANC has that alternative. We have a plan. We are creating jobs. We are the government in waiting in the Western Cape. We want to ensure that we deliver for our people housing. We have a capable state to ensure that we have proper facilities for our people. Our people are tired of gangs and crime. We have a plan to ensure that we create safer communities. We want affordable, quality education for our kids. We have a plan to deal with that. Jobs, and to deal with the standard of living. We need to also ensure that we deal with poverty. The ANC has a plan to ensure that we create opportunities for all our people, not for a few. That is currently happening in the Western Cape.
Thank you so much, Faiz Jacobs of the ANC. Moving on to the Democratic Alliance, Mr. Bonginkosi Madigizela.
Thank you very much. Good morning at home. The Western Cape is the best performing province when it comes to housing delivery. Our offer is very simple. The first thing that we want to do is to make sure that we continue to create jobs. We are a jobs province. The second thing that we want to do is to make sure that we fight the cancer of corruption, which is collapsing our economy. The third thing that we want in this province and also in the country is to make sure that provinces are given more powers when it comes to safety. We want provinces to have control of the police. And the fourth thing that we want is to make sure that we improve the provision of basic services, as we have been doing. And the last thing that we want to do is to make sure that we control our borders so that people can come to South Africa legally. But lastly, we also want to make sure that we have control of the rail transport, which is collapsing, which is under the national government. And these are the things that we are going to do as the DA, because we have proven that we govern much better than the ANC, where we are in government.
Mr. Madikizela. And moving along, we move on now to Ferlin Daniels of the ACDP.
Ferlin Christians of the ACDP, the premier candidate. The ACDP uncompromisingly, unapologetically is pushing for godly government. We are pushing this agenda because as a party we believe that we need to consult and have God in politics and not out of politics. We believe that this country needs an alternative. This country needs the ACDP. We have identified 7 giants that we believe that's keeping us away from a prosperous country. We love this country. We've given the DA and the ANC an opportunity. It's our time. It's our time to take over. It's our time to bring about change. So we have real solutions for real problems, and we will address that further on. Crime is a big problem, but we believe that we have an answer to address crime, and we believe that we will make a difference. And we are the government in waiting in the Western Cape. I thank you.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much, Sagina.
And moving on, next is the EFF, Mr. Melikaya Klego.
Thank you very much, Sagina, and good morning to you and the listeners and the viewers at home. As the EFF, ours is very clean. Our theme for this year, it says our land and jobs now, which means therefore bringing even this show to Hout Bay is a significant moment for us as the people of the Western Cape. This is where thousands of our people lost their households because of lack of land in South Africa. I am sure it is not just a window dressing that we come here. We would come back after the 8th of May and come back and ensure that we speak to the people of Hout Bay. As the EFF, we say we will be able to create jobs in South Africa, sustainable jobs, not artisanship, not all these temporary jobs that the DA is bragging about, and the ANC is also bringing about learnerships nationally, sustainable jobs that will create through the employment of all our people being absorbed into government, and make sure that we also have decolonized free quality education. Not just quality education, but it should be free. We will also be able to have all the state companies to fall under government and ensure that we make sure that our people get jobs.
That's your time. Thank you. And from the UDM, we have Mr. Mputumi Ntabeni.
Good morning, South Africa. My name is Mputumi Ntabeni. I thank you. The theme of the UDM for this election is prosperity and dignity for all. I'm very happy, Sakina, that you came to Hout Bay. To me, Hout Bay is a microcosm of what is wrong with South Africa. At the back of us here, you've got a colored community. In the valley there, you've got a rich white community. At the opposite of another mountain, you've got what we call imizamo yethu, the African community that are living in filth. Where you in government, the best thing you can do in this community is to study this community and see how South Africa is not going well. I'm very happy that you decided to come here, because if you can solve things at this microcosm, and the land issue here is very important, because this area is about land, and the most people, the poor on the mountains are the ones that have no land, and the only development that you have is the rich valley that is there. What we as the UDM promises to bring is to bring these communities on the mountains themselves to be part of the development that is happening on the valley. And that is how the vision we see South Africa. And it's a pity for me when I hear people who are in government that are still promising us that we will do this, instead of saying, we have done this, and this is how we've done it. But as the UDM, we will move the South Africa forward.
All right. Let's hear from the IFP, represented by Julia Ngukuma.
Good morning, world. My name is Julia. I'm the Western Cape organizer of IFP. IFP is willing to give us job as other parties as they promise, and we also IFP is willing for isiphathele imisebenzi. IFP is willing for bangabana ichange ukuhlala. IFP is willing for bangabana ijongane nabantwana support abantwana ihoma abuse. Sinita facilities kwizibhedlele zethu si willing into bangabana sizokwenza utshintsho. And what I've liked about IFP mostly is that IFP is in the Western Cape area at the moment, and now that in terms of rate of crime in Cape Town is very high, but in managing that ikwazi ukuba mama izenyanga isizoyenza utshintsho. Mna ngumhlali wasenyanga isiphathi I saw so much change from support say IFP. So I'm willing into bangabana abantu bathathe a chance that bavotele IFP, because IFP is here to change, especially in the Western Cape area. Like in terms of clinic zethu, we don't have enough facilities. We don't have in terms of police stations zethu, we don't have enough. We need more training from amapolisa wethu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, IFP. Moving on to the NFP, Sheikh Imam.
Good morning, South Africa. This is the time when you get lots of food parcels, lots of bottles of wine, lots of speeches, and lots of promises. The National Freedom Party has been the only party that has been consistent in Parliament in calling for a change in the Western Cape to improve the quality of lives of the people. The National Freedom Party is the only party that has been consistent in fighting for the cause of the Khoi and San as the first indigenous people of South Africa. The National Freedom Party is the only party that have repeatedly been expressing concerns about the poor living conditions of the people in the Western Cape. Yes, indeed, 25 years later, all those that have governed in the Western Cape have failed the people of the Western Cape. The National Freedom Party is saying, give us 100 days and you will see the change for a better life. In 100 days, that is what we are asking you. The Western Cape will be rid of all fake goods. Job creation will be number one as a priority. The National Freedom Party will ensure the redistribution of land will commence immediately. The National Freedom Party is corruption-free, not like what is actually happening in the Western Cape. Many parties, the ANC, the DA, the IFP, the EFF, are thrown with corruption throughout South Africa. And there is a zero tolerance to corruption with the National Freedom Party.
Thank you,
If you want a better life, for 25 years, you have been manipulated by politicians in the Western Cape. We are saying it's time for a change. If you are happy where you are, stay where you are. If you are not happy, you want to change for a better quality of life, then vote the National Freedom Party on the 8th of May, and you will see the results. 100 days, that is our pledge, 100 days.
All right. We hear from the PAC now, represented this morning by Kenny Buffo.
Good morning, Sakina, and good morning to the viewers at home. Sakina, we are here today at a very historical place where over 50 years ago, the inhabitants of Hout Bay and Simonstown were forcefully removed from their places and they were scattered across the Cape Town. Now, I'm a product of that. My parents were forcefully removed from Simonstown. And today I'm here to say to the people of Hout Bay that the struggle for land, for ownership, still continues. Over the years, I have witnessed the resilience of people of Hout Bay. I have witnessed the people of Hout Bay facing bullets. I've witnessed the people of Hout Bay being made poachers at night simply because their fishing rights were taken away from them. Their tradition, their culture, their everything was systematically taken away from them by the DA. The ANC also did not assist. As the PAC were here to say, the struggle continues. We are seeing the disparities between the rich and the poor, and that's so glaring. And the PAC was saying that come the 8th of May, you vote the PAC and we will ensure that land ownership will be restored to the people of Hout Bay. Thank you very much.
All right, and there you have it from the panel currently seated. I understand Farouk Kasim of COPE has arrived, so he'll be joining us, but we'll be doing that right after this because we need to hand it back to studio.